I don't know, man. It was a photo finish here.
Well, let's take a look out front.
Robbie out front.
Malinowski is your race leader down into the corner. Some bumping and banging going on. Right behind him is Ross Martin. Then it's a Liedman. Of course, Tremblay, the number 11. Where's Tucker? Tucker's falls back into about ninth place.
Yeah.
So, again, here we go in some sleds together. One of them is, of course, Willie Elam. Who's the other one? It's one of the Christian Brothers Racing sleds. Logan Christian. So those are the two drivers tied up in what part of down in that corner there, and that's the area that they've been kind of sweeping through. So that takes away a racing line in that corner. Is everybody kind of keeping an eye on everybody behind them? But it is still going to be Ross Martin now who got around Robbie Malinowski on that last lap. And he not only got around him, he spanked him. He put a second-and-a-half distance between him and Malinowski.
Yeah, they were pretty close coming off the finish line, and then I lost him a little bit in the corner, and all of a sudden Robbie dropped a spot, and Ross was out charging.
Robbie looks like he's struggling a little bit back there right now, too. Here comes Tremblay. Tremblay on the inside, but those sleds still tied up in the corner. Oh, and Malinowski goes off the edge of the racetrack.
We lost Brett, too.
Then Bender went off the edge, too?
Yep.
Yeah.
And Malinowski gets back on. He's going to slot back into fourth place, back behind Johan Liedman. Boy, some action taking place down in that corner, and that was because the line was taken away for some of the drivers because of Willie Elam and Logan Christian. There's Bender back on the racetrack, but Bender now falling way back to 13th spot. There's Ross Martin. He is your race leader. As we mentioned, 20 laps. We've got 16 laps to go. It's Tremblay in second, Liedman in second, Malinowski now in fourth, and he's 3 seconds out of a podium finish. We'll watch as he goes. Where is Tucker Hibbert? Hibbert sitting in seventh place, trying to work his way through and find some lines that are decent to make some passes around this racetrack.
I think that's an issue right now, Mike, because I'm watching Tucker Hibbert's lap times. They're running in the mid-33s along with everybody else. I think there's one good line, and he can't get around him. There's only one line back.
Robbie.
Yeah, guys, I'm standing with Kirk Hibbert right now, the father, the crew chief. Kirk, the visibility is not any good back in the pack today.
Nope.
Yeah, that's about all he has to say for it right now. You literally cannot see, especially Paul Mack in turn one.
Well, they are working around. It's still Martin, Tremblay, Liedman, Malinowski, and Ebert. You had a big smile on your face when Kurt just said, nope. Are you giggling from knowing exactly what it's like?
I'm giggling a little bit because I know about the snow dust, and Kirk, he's a man of many words.
You almost sometimes, I would presume, get to the point where you just point these things and hope that nobody's there.
Yeah, it gets really tough. When you're not out front, you really can't see much of anything. And, the bumps and stuff, they sneak up on you. You kind of come over one, and you don't really see where the landing is, and pretty soon you short it, and it kind of bounces you around. So,
and of course,
I feel for him.
The wind has gone down a little bit. It's giving the snow dust an opportunity to hang just a bit. I mean, we've definitely had worse conditions than this, but still, visibility a key part of making your way around this racetrack.
Yeah, it really makes it tough, and that's one thing you'll see, with Tucker maybe not running the lap times that you would assume he would be at this point. It's just because he can't really see what he's doing, and it just makes it tough for him to pick the guys off like he normally would.
Watching your racer out there, Bobby LePage started 14th, currently worked his way up to 7th. You got to be pretty pleased with that.
Yeah, I'm really excited for Bobby. He works his tail off, and it's good to see. He had a little tough time in qualifying, and it's good to see with a back row start he's doing a pretty good job.
Let's go down to Robbie Powers.
Yeah, guys, Tom Rager's just showing Ross Martin right now that the gap is a substantial gap. Tommy, your guy's got a big gap. You're showing him he's got a big gap, but he's starting to get into lap track, and he's going to deal with that same snow dust.
Yeah, there's a lot of snow dust here, but he's riding really well. He wants this one bad today.
Yeah, guys.
Now, Levi, I've got a question for you. So I'm looking at the lap times. They're all around at 33 seconds, basically everybody, which tells us, right, there's one good line out there. You can't get by. And what do you do if you're coming from the back or any of these guys trying to get to the podium? What are you going to do when there's one line? What's your offensive plan?
Oh, man, it's so tough. When the track gets kind of V'd and you kind of funnel you to one line, it's just tough to get around. I mean, you can't really make very many moves. Hopefully you can set up wider than someone into one of the turns and cut underneath them or something like that. but it just really makes it tough. So hopefully the guys can kind of start seeing stuff and making some passes.
Go ahead, Robbie.
Well, I'll tell you what, we're going to be laying down a new message. You're telling him to push. What are we telling him this time? He's telling him to place.
Yeah, we're just giving him split times of how much time he's got to make up on Ross here.
It's a tough go. I tell you, the visibility. I tell you, Robbie, let's just watch these sleds go by, get an idea of just the extreme visibility that's going on. It's just absolutely brutal. Roost, guys are literally just hunting and picking lines, Paul, Mac, Levi, and Mike, that necessarily they wouldn't normally, but it's the only place they can see where they're going.
Robbie, do me a favor. You had Robbie point the camera down into corner 1. We get a real definition and a real perspective of the snow dust. If you could have him put up that shot again, it was really, you could see how difficult it was to see down into 2. So if you get that shot set up again, and maybe the producers can go to that, well, you could see the challenges that they were facing right there. Look at that snow dust going down that's the backstretch right there.
Another huge issue. It isn't just the snow dust. Look at the entire track out here. There's lap traffic everywhere. There's a spot on the track that doesn't have a snowmobile. You can get lap traffic mixed in with that snow dust.
Let's run down the order right now. Ross Martin out in front with a 6-second lead over Tim Tremblay. Then it's Johan Liedman still, I believe, in third. There's Johan right there. Robbie Malinowski was in 4th. He still is, but Tucker is charging hard. Hibbert in the 5th spot. Then it's Oman, Ebert, LePage, Kaufman, Patton, Broberg. Those are your top 11 sleds. Robbie, I think you had something down in the corner. There's a yellow down there, too.
Yeah, there is. There's a stuck sled. You know, guys, we've chased this circuit all season long, and Levi, I know you can relate better than any of us, but I've never, ever seen snow dust. I've never seen visibility this poor except when it was snowing out. I mean, Martin's going to deal with it, but again, it's kind of a relative factor now for the race leader as he is now involved in lap traffic. It's the same for everybody out there. Hibbert's going to have a really hard time making up ground right now.
Yeah, he's really going to have to find different lines, ones that, you know, the other guys aren't going to look to the very edges. A lot of times the inside line, guys won't be going there. So if you can get on that, get a little clear visibility, and hopefully you can shoot past some of them.
Well, Tucker is up into 4th place. Last time by, the interval between him and Liedman was, this time it's about 4 seconds. So he is making up ground to get at least minimally on the podium.
We've got a new leader out there in Tim Tremblay. Now, Ross Martin is now in second. What I see with Tucker Hibbert, if you want to go back and talk about him for a second, he's 14 seconds behind with 6 laps to go. He needs to make up almost 3 seconds per lap in order to get to the top of the podium. I don't see it as realistic. Now, reality is, could he maybe make the podium? I think that's the best thing he can hope for. But right now, Ross Martin is hoping to gain the leader, some time on leader, who is Tim Tremblay.
I didn't see what happened to Ross Martin at allowing Tremblay to get around. I was looking at lap times. They're relatively close to each other last time around.
I tell you what, we talk about visibility. Have you ever seen it this crappy?
No, this is crazy. I don't think Tim can even see what we're doing over here. I don't know how the guys can be riding out there.
We're standing like 3 feet off the track right now. We can't even see what's going on.
Yeah, no, this is just absurd.
This is madness, guys.
Here. Oh, I'm sorry, that was Brett Bender that I was trying to keep an eye on. It's still Tremblay out in front, Ross Martin in second. Now let's look at the interval between Liedman and Tucker Hibbert. Hibbert now about 1.2 seconds. So Tucker is making up some ground, but we're working on 4 laps left to go.
Yeah, it's not possible. I mean, he could, like I said, maybe he could get to the podium. If he could get by Liedman, he's only second behind. He can make a podium. He's not going to get to Ross Martin or your race leader, Tim Tremblay, without some huge event that takes them both out.
Martin's made up a little distance on Tim Tremblay right there, too. But we keep watching these guys as the laps keep clicking down. I think Rob Powers was down there with Steve Shearing.
Yeah, tough break. They got one of their soldiers fighting up towards the front, but 2 laps in, your man's out front and gets turned sideways, Mr. Shearing.
Well, you know, there was an incident in that corner over there. There was some passing under the yellow, and our guy got knocked off. So, obviously, the officials didn't see it. They were looking the other way. Not that that's an excuse. We're still running top 5.
You don't need to say anything. We got it.
Wow, watch this battle for the lead. Tim and Ross are going at it right now.
Look at Ross.
Here
right
comes
now,
Ross up
on
the inside.
Yep, got him. Yep, he's going to now. Let's see if Tremblay pulls him on the outside. Tremblay probably doesn't have the best line on the backside. Nope, Martin was able to take and distance himself, so now Martin back out front. And Hibbert has moved up into the podium, so he's in third place. White flag out. Ross Martin, one lap left to go.
Way down here with one to go.
How far behind is Tucker?
Oh, no.
There was quite a distance. Yeah, Tucker is about 9 seconds behind Tim Tremblay. Tremblay has got his fingers crossed that ride makes. Oh, look at him slowing down. Now, I'm sure that Tucker maybe is going to try to look at a pit board and see that. Let's see what happens. Tremblay ran a 36.3 last time around. There's Patton around him. Where's Tucker? Here comes T-Train. I think he's going to hold on, though. He does. Wow, he runs 39.2 that last time around. But Martin will take the win. Second place is going to go to Tim Tremblay on a damaged ride. Tucker Hibbert will move up and take third place, coming from the number 8 qualifying spot. Then the rest of the order finds Johan Liedman, Robbie Malinowski, Garth Kaufman in 6th, Danny Ebert in 7th, Zach Patton in 8th. Then it's Broberg, LePage in 10th, Omen, Christian, Elam Benders, and Ryan Simons. Boy, talk about some racing. Robbie?
I just did from over where your man Tom Jr. was hanging out. Mr. Judnick, holy moly, baby.
Tim.
What did Timmy just say?
I don't even know what to say. I don't know what happened down there, but the sled stopped twice, and he had to get her restarted, and he did. Tim got by him, and then Ross got by him back, and then I think Tim had some trouble, and what a wild race.
Hey, Scotty, if they keep hanging out like that, Ross is going to start picking up some French, you know what I'm saying? Hey, we'll be back with rider interviews just a little bit.
Robbie, thank you very much. I'll tell you what, we're going to take and wrap up here with Levi Lavalle so Levi can get back, I'm sure, and talk to his racers. Your impression of this final, boy, what a crazy one, huh?
It is madness.